Scottish politician and non-alcohol drinking Bill Walker ring the Scotch Whisky Bill in 1987. Scotch whiskey is more than whiskey. It's a part of Scotland's heritage and folklore. It's used as a medicine to cure many ills. As a toddy, it can be used to dispel colds and flu. In porridge, it can drive out the cold of the Scottish winters. It lubricates the larynx, and it helps parties go with the swing. Now then, let's explore over the next few minutes if whiskey is more than whiskey. The term whiskey originated from the Gaelic Ushkaba, the water of life. I read an article from the website called About Scotch Whisky, which stated Scotland is a country which has historically proven its strength, courage, and fought fiercely for independence. Perhaps it can be no surprise that Scotch whisky is a drink described as bold, strong, and fiery. I'm an avid Scotch whisky sipper, and I've made annual trips to Scotland to enhance my knowledge and understanding of Scotch. I've been drinking Scotch whisky for over 25 years of my life. I know I don't look like it. And became interested in spirit from a diverse taste and exclusiveness. Over the past 3 years, I made the decision to increase my knowledge for the water of life and begin my pilgrimage to the homeland of whiskey, Scotland. Today I will expose you to the diversity of Scotch whisky and why Scotch whisky is more than a whisky. I will support this claim with Scotch whisky by presenting a brief history, what is unique, and pairings with whiskey, with food. Let's get started on a whiskey journey by going back in time, early in the years of Scotland's birth of whiskey. The earliest historical reference of whiskey comes from 1494. Due to the popularity of whiskey, the Scottish Parliament began to tax whiskey in 1644. To avoid the new taxes, the Scottish had an idea. That idea led to smuggling for the next 150 years of whiskey to avoid the taxes. Scotch was hidden by the clergy even under the pulpits and transported in coffins to avoid the tax man. Ironically, who was the most famous Scottish tax collector? Robert Burns, of course. He was Scotland's bard who was originally trained as a tax collector. In 1785, Robbie wrote poems about the Scotch drink, an ode to whiskey and the nature of happiness. One major event boosted the popularity and forever changed the future of Scotch whiskey. In the 1880s, the phylloxera beetle devastated French vineyards for the years, which destroyed wine and brandy inventory for many years. The disaster was rescued by the revival product the Scots produced, Scotch whisky, which grew to international recognition as a brandy replacement and more. Scotch whisky has been a part of Scotland's culture for well over 500 years, and over this period has developed unique and authentic characteristics. What makes Scotch whisky so unique? To start with, the spelling of whiskey is different than any other whiskey. There is no E in the spelling. A legal designation of Scotch whisky, according to Scotch Whisky Association, it must be produced in oak cask for a minimum of 3 years, and it has to be produced in one of the 5 growing regions or producing regions in Scotland. There are many factors. And please produce the picture. Thank you. Those are the 5 regions. There are many factors that impact the outcome of the product's finish, such as geography, oil, and water. Scotch whisky has 5 distinct categories: single malt whiskey, single grain whiskey, blended Scotch whiskey, blended malt Scotch whiskey, and blended grain Scotch whiskey. According to whiskeyforever.com, only a few Scotch whiskeys are triple distilled. The rest are double distilled. Ireland is mostly triple distilled. So far, we've discussed the 500-year history of Scotch whisky, what is unique and authentic about Scotch whisky. Today we've learned how to even spell Scotch whisky. Now we have saved the best for last. Let's dive into Scotch whiskey and food. Let's continue by taking a look at the whiskey tasting wheel to visualize the many notes of the various whiskey produced. Perfect. The tasting wheel for Scotch whiskey as presented by Mark Newton of the Whiskey Magazine illustrates 8 unique flavors and separates the 2 processes you should experience with various Scotch whiskeys. Process group 1, the flavors from fermentation, distillation, cereal, fruity, floral, peaty, fainty, and sulfury. Process group 2, flavors for maturation, woody, and winey. Whiskey should be enjoyed neat to fully appreciate fine notes. If it's too hot for the tongue, add 1 or 2 drops of water. It's like drinking fine wine. If you like to add ice to your whiskey, it's okay. It's like drinking fine wine with ice, right? That's okay. Things you want to avoid. You want to avoid spicy foods, bitter or laden with garlic. Should be avoided as it will kill the flavors of whiskey. Don't always match flavors. Match the tasting note to complement, not to match with foods. Dark chocolates and whiskey really complement each other. I have personally experienced how foods actually bring out the amazing notes of whiskey. Sometimes try Costco freshly prepared cilantro, lime shrimp with a bruglati or a Kilchoman. The whiskey pairing is amazing. There are many foods that complement the whiskey. Please be adventurous. All good things must come to an end, but in this case, the best is yet to come. We have a tasting of a selected whiskey paired with a selected dark chocolate. I hope I've informed everyone today that whiskey is more than whiskey. Whiskey represents a 500-year culture, an industry that employs thousands, and a product that adds synergy to food, cigars, and gatherings. Robert Burns stated that freedom and whiskey can go together. As Robbie said, freedom and whiskey, gang together. Take off your drum. Let's have a Scottish toast, good health. Sláinte mhath. All right, thank you.